Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, or Bonjour if you want to say it in French. After last night's great result, absolutely fantastic. I don't know what's going on there. We've got a bit of feedback there. But yeah, before we get into that, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe button, part of this great community, and the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. Also, if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p, just click the join button. And also, if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign as well. So there we go. That being said, right, okay. And I'm joined by Roly. How are you, Roly?
Oh God, I'm Champions League if ever I was. Oh dear, exhausted from the emotion watching the game and watching all the content online today. Started watching the game again, and I'm just still can't get over it. How fantastic a performance we put up. But it's quite interesting to see. I don't know if you heard, but some of the French press weren't too complimentary when they did their player ratings. I don't think anyone on our side got over a 7. And they had Tonali as a 5. But then again, there were a couple of, I think there were 3 papers that were quoted. One of them had Mbappe as a 2. So they were really scathing on PSG performance. But again, everybody underestimating us and playing us down and not giving us the credit that we deserve. But I don't care because we keep winning.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Let's get into some comments anyway. Bia says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly. Good evening to you, Bia. Hope you're well. Julie says, bonjour, everyone. Bonjour. She says, I'm Bappy Who. Absolutely. Who is he? Running late, Roly must be watching the Genk game, says Bia. Exploring the Northeast, all right. Yeah, absolutely buzzing, mate. Buzzing. Tony sorting his makeup. Cheers, Andrew. Evening, Roly says, exploring the Northeast. Andrew says, I hope you're well after that rather entertaining evening last night. Yeah, absolutely. Bonzo Tours Les Monday says the matey when he's put some French in there. There we go. Trevor says, I went to the match last night. Won a match. I'm a Leeds fan. It was a nightmare getting there from Worcester, where I live. And Mrs. not even know I went. Was that the Leeds match you went to, Trevor, by the way? Were you saying, or was it the Newcastle game you got to? Gunnar says, unbelievable performance from Newcastle. Eddie Howe is mugging Arteta off. Thanks very much, Gunnar, forever. Hi, Tony and Roly in chat. I'm still super excited, says Matt. Absolutely. Lewis says, are they having a laugh? Well, yeah. I think I fell asleep at 3:30 with this excitement, says Lewis. Andrew says, I wore the lucky blue away shirt. Lucky number is 4. 4 goals, 4 different scorers, 4th of act. Absolutely, Andrew, absolutely. Did cry at the Champions League anthem when it was played. Yeah, it was emotional, wasn't it? Napoleon, Charles de Gaulle, Platini, the Montgolfier brothers, Toulouse, Latrobe, Coconut Chanel. Your boys took one hell of a beating.
I don't know if you saw the clip on TalkSport of Jason Cundy doing that. He had a real go going through all the. I think he had Emmanuel Macron, the Arc de Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower. Your boys took one hell of a beating. It was really. Jason Cundy can't stand us, but he really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah. Lee says, evening, Tony and Roly and everyone. What a brilliant result. Full credit, Eddie and the players and more flags, and all our fans are still buzzing. Forced to be reckoned with. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. No, the tune much, says Trevor. All right, okay, mate. Nice to see you going there. Hope you enjoyed it. Magic Night just had a bathhouse, much as I missed, says Brian. Not much, mate. We've only just literally been on for 6 minutes, so you're in good time. Good turnout, 52,000. Well, yeah, it should be a sellout, shouldn't it? Absolutely. Ronald says PSG should have what the French flag should be, a white cross on a white background. And Lewis said, I can't believe I'm in dreamland still as well. I mean, look, I mean, we done so. We saw the teams last night. We saw Lascelles was playing. You know, I mean, look, I had tipped maybe that Lascelles would be on the bench and maybe Byrne would be moved to left centre back and maybe Target on the left. But I did think it would have been Miggy, Isak, and Wilson. And Gordon up front. But I did sort of see I would rather have Miggy had a rest and Murphy started the game. So that was sort of the team that I was going to go for. But you know what it is? We started off the game okay. You know, we had the anthems and everything, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I think we saw a little bit of a smell from Kylian Mbappe in the when the anthem was playing because he was sort of looking at the flags. Maybe he's thinking, "Wow, I've not been in an atmosphere like this one," you know. So, you'll remember 12 months ago when Bukayo Saka did that. You know, at St James's Park, and he's like looking around at all the flags. Naturally, with his dad being a Newcastle fan as well. So yeah, seeing that, I mean, look, we started off okay, and then you know, I don't know what Marquinhos was thinking. I don't know what he was trying to do. I had a feeling from when Marquinhos done what he was doing, I was sort of thinking they're trying to be arrogant here because they're trying to belittle us and have no respect. When he tried to lob the ball, I was thinking, well, what's he trying to do? You know, they were trying to play from the back, try to lob it over. I think Isak. Isak got a go and had a shot. Shot was obviously saved by Donnarumma, and Almiron was there to fire it in. You know, and when that goal went in from Almiron, I think that was it. It was like, wow, we are 1-0 up against PSG, a team who, let's not forget, are owned by a man called Al Khelafi, who is in owner of beIN Sports, the one who tried to stop our takeover, the one who lobbied 19 Premier League clubs and told them, you know, you must not allow this takeover to happen. And you know, we could class it as a Middle East derby as well. You know, Saudi Arabia versus Qatar. So I was like, yes, this is great, 1-0, but now let's go out and get a second goal because, you know, it's great getting the first goal from Miggy. And I must say it was a fine strike from Miggy as well. I mean, he took his goal well. You know, after the back of scoring that great goal on Saturday as well, he then comes up with a gut and puts another one in. So it was great. And then we got the one from Byrne and we were wondering what was going on because it was just so confusing. The offside flag went up. So we thought, okay, it's offside then. Right, fair enough. And then there was a VAR check, and I thought, oh, well, maybe they're checking the offside. But this VAR check went on for a good few minutes, you know. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you know, it's like being in the Premier League, how long they're taking with a VAR check. And then you saw the automatic offside, and Bruno was not offside, he was clearly onside. So then I'm thinking, well, what are they checking for? And then they mentioned, oh, there might be a handball by Jamal Lascelles, and so I was thinking, all right, here we go. It's going to be a handball, and they're going to rule it out, yeah. But then I'm thinking, but Lascelles is not directly involved in this goal, so he can't. He hasn't scored the goal, so that's the only way they can rule it out. And that's what they were just checking to see how it hit his hand. And then all of a sudden, you just saw the referee do the screen thing and go goal. And it was like, yes, that's it, you know. And it was one hell of a header from Dan Byrne. After he said at first he was cursing Bruno for taking the shot on, but when he got the ball back and got a second bite the cherry, Byrne says he knew exactly what he's doing, and you know, Dan Byrne scores, and once the VAR check's done, there's Dan Burn celebrating. And why not? A Geordie boy, you know, dreamed of something like this, and you know, absolutely fantastic that Dan Burn got the second goal for us. And you know, so we had the injury time, which is natural considering the VAR check and a couple of injuries. Like Isak went down with a head injury. You know, thankfully he came back out second half and came back out without that bandage, because I think that bandage was impeding him a bit as well. You could see he was getting a bit sick because he was going down on his eye. And then second half started, and I thought, right, we're going to see a huge response here from PSG, because there's no way they're going to play this poor in the second half. And they sort of did come out a little bit. But then, lovely ball from Trippier inside to Sean Longstaff. And you're thinking, what's he going to do? Is he going to cross this? But he actually goes for the shot. And as he goes for the shot, hits Donnarumma's arm and in the back of the keeper should have saved that all day long. The quality of goalkeeper that Donnarumma is should have saved that, in all honesty. But he didn't, and it went into the back of the net. And there's Sean Longstaff celebrating, doing the Alan Shearer salute, after scoring again in the Gallagher end, and it puts us 3-0 up. Then you're thinking, right, okay, and I'm thinking to myself, 3-0 up, am I in dreamland here? Because this is just unreal. How are we turning over a team like PSG 3-0, you know? And then obviously they pulled one back through Lucas Hernandez. Good goal. Don't take it away from the lad. Good header. He done well to... and it was a perfectly worked goal, and, great goal. And then they had moments. Dembele had moments. Zaire had moments. They made a few subs. And overall, they couldn't get back into the game. And Mbappe just looked piss poor all night, in my opinion. He doesn't look a happy man. And I don't think it's not the fact he's not happy about the result. I just don't think he's happy in general at PSG. You can see that on his face. You could tell by his body language he's not happy there. Obviously, because he didn't get the move to Real Madrid in the summer. Now, would I take Mbappe at Newcastle United? For his talent? Yes. For his attitude? No. So I wouldn't have him at Newcastle. Now, it'll be interesting if Real Madrid next summer decide, we don't want to buy you. Because I'll tell you what, this guy has got a real attitude problem. But, and then obviously Fabian Schär comes up with the goods as well towards the end with a well-taken goal. And what a goal that was from Fabian Schär. Absolutely fantastic goal. As he shot, he was sort of falling back, falling over, but you know what? It went in, and there was no way Donnarumma was getting near that, and Schär made it 4-1, which was absolutely fantastic. And it capped the night off, and we had 2 Geordies scoring, which was absolutely fantastic, and we had 3 players from pre-takeover who scored as well. So, we had Almiron, Longstaff, and Schär, all pre-takeover, all played under Cabachid. And, just now people can say, oh, yes, Newcastle's got millions and that's why they've won last night. It's not because of the fact of that, because we ain't even flexed our muscles because we can't because of FFP. If you want to talk about a team that's worth millions or billions even, you want to look at PSG. All they're trying to buy is Galacticos, and they're trying to be great. And I'm sorry, they are not great, PSG. And I did say this the other night in the preview, PSG are coming into this game in pretty poor form. They are not great. They went away to second bottom Clermont on Saturday with Mbappe in goal playing, and they couldn't even beat Clermont. It was a 0-0 draw. Now, Luis Enrique said not pre-match, but before the game, the day before, when they trained at St James's. He said, look, he says, Newcastle are the complete team. He says, and I can tell you now, no team in any group of the Champions League wanted to draw against Newcastle. And I thought, you know what, that's great that's great coming from you, because you're recognising how good we are as a team, and it just shows you how fearful we are amongst the elite in Europe. And then he comes out with a stupid, ridiculous comment last night, like, yeah, we lost 4-1, but that flatters Newcastle, doesn't it? And I thought, flatters us? And I thought, well, no, not really, because at the end of the day, it's your own stupidity that's cost you the game, because you treat us with disrespect. You tried to play out from the back. And the thing is, you didn't understand how we do our press. And that is the problem. The way they were playing, it was suicide football. And every time they were playing from the back, we were press. And this is the thing. PSG could not contain our press. And that is why we won that game 4-1. Through brilliance and individual errors from them at the back. If you look, like I say, the way they were trying to play out, it was suicidal from PSG. And we did right to punish them. And I think this sends a message out in the Champions League that we ain't here to make the numbers up. Whoever said this is a group of death, maybe a group of death. But for us, it's not a group of death, because at the end of the day, the likes of Dortmund must be worrying now, thinking, Jesus, we've got to go to St James's Park next. How are we going to play there? How are we going to cope there? And it's not, we've proved it's not easy to come to. Especially you got the flags and everything like that going, and you got the crowd. That crowd were brilliant last night, by the way. The fans, stayed with the team all the way throughout, drove the team forward. I thought Trippier was amazing. I thought Lascelles put in some great tackles last night. He kept Mbappe quiet as well. I don't think Mbappe had a sniff, to be honest with you. And yes, he had one shot towards the end. He complained for a corner. And yes, okay, it did brush Lascelles and it should have been a corner. But the referee doesn't pick up on that. But other than that, I don't think PSG were massively threatening, even though they had all that possession of 73% to our 27% possession. Possession does not win a football match. Putting the ball in the back of the net wins a football match. And, you can have all the possession in the world. It's like Man City could play against, say, Sheffield United and have 90% possession and lose 2-0 to Sheffield United. It doesn't matter what possession you have. It's great when you see that amount of possession, but you want to be winning the football matches with it as well. And, and that was one thing I was sick of seeing people talking about. Oh, well, the possession. Yes, but like I've said, possession does not win football matches. Putting the ball in that onion bag wins matches. And that's exactly what we did. We hit their net 4 times last night. And we sent Donnarumma out of England, a very unhappy man. Because, like I say, we don't forget what he did in the Euros, the way he was disrespecting us when we lost the cup and everything, and how he disrespected the Three Lions anthem as well. So we never forget. And, he's got to come back to England in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm sure that might be another unhappy English return at Wembley when he plays against England. Let's hope England stick one over Italy and send them out of England on a double whammy, But as I say, PSG for me tried to be arrogant, and I wouldn't be surprised if Luis Enrique is out of a job before we play them in the return game, because PSG have got a habit of this. When they don't do well in Europe, they sack their manager because they want to win the Champions League. The problem is they're not good enough to win the Champions League. That's why they'll never win it. El Khalifi can throw as much money as he wants at them. It's never going to work. Money doesn't buy you always success. Hard work, determination, graft does. And I'll tell you what, Eddie Howe got his tactics spot on last night. And he has every right to be a happy man. For Simon Jordan to come out today and say Eddie Howe is not the right man to bring Newcastle a major trophy, the man's a fool. because look what Eddie Howe's done. Even Jim White says, "You're telling me Eddie Howe can't bring Newcastle a trophy?" And he said, "Well, yeah, but you got to move on, like City did with Mark." And I thought, yeah, but this is totally different. This is not City. This is not Mark Hughes. This is Eddie Howe. The only way he can become the manager is by winning trophies. So when you get people like Simon Jordan coming out with shit like that, it really does annoy you. But I thought we were absolutely fantastic last night. I didn't care how much of the ball PSG actually had, because at the end of the day, the statistic that I was more concerned was that we won that game and got the 3 points, which is what we did. And it now leaves us top of the Champions League group with PSG second, Milan third, Dortmund at the bottom. And I think that's where Dortmund may finish in this as well, because I think they're going to be the whipping boys, unfortunately. I was surprised that ended 0-0 with Milan. But again, Milan will be concerned because they're not scoring goals, which is great for us. If we win our home games, that's what we need to do. Just win the home games. And if we do pick points up away, we should get out of this group. So it's early days. We're on 4 points. But if we can beat Dortmund, and then you've got Milan PSG, which is going to be an interesting game. So see what happens in that game. But if we can beat Dortmund, that'll put us on 7 points. And I think we'll be well on our way to qualifying out of that group. I really do. Before I come to you, Roly, I'm going to just go into some comments because the comments have come flying in. And, I mean, look, but as I say about Mbappe, we saw him last night. He weren't very happy. And then there he is now leaving the pitch with his head bowed, And this is a man, when they were training, asked for a pair of gloves because he said he was in Newcastle and it was freezing cold, even though it was 13 degrees Celsius. Man's a wimp. That's what he is. He's a soft shite, grow a pair. It's, yes, the northeast's cold, but you know what? Bloody great. Nothing wrong with being a bit cold up there. But yeah, the man's a wimp. Anyway, let's get into some comments and see what people are saying, because like I say, the comments are flying in. And but like I say, brilliant game last night. Trevor says, I did enjoy it in the doghouse with the missus, but worth it. Paula Galantia, how bad is the French league? PSG shouldn't have signed Hendrick. 2 Newcastle lads scoring, yeah, absolutely. Lewis says that was dreamland for them. Dan Burnshaw, Longstaff, absolutely. Geordie boys taking the piss, absolutely. See, Sunderland beat Watford last night at home at the Stadium of Shea 2-0. And if you notice, they're not being very chipper today or last night, because when they saw a result, they can't say nothing to Mackhams, which is great because, we've played somebody and beat somebody big. Who have Sunderland played? Oh, Watford. Yeah, not a very good side. Matt says, Bruno is La Magie Beret. Absolutely. Gary says, good evening, Tony and Ronnie. Good evening, Gary D. Hope you're well, mate. Lewis says, 3.5 minutes, check Dan Burn goal. What a bloody joke. So, just so you, there's a Champions League's offside. Automatic. Yeah, this is the automatic offside that the likes of Jurgen Klopp did not want in the Premier League. How much is he regretting that decision? Because I'll tell you what, they showed you that last night, and I'll tell you what, I think that is a brilliant, brilliant offside system, and it needs to be brought into the Premier League. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. So it does need to be brought in. Evening, Tony and Roly says, Trolls, good evening. And we did have 3 more. Yep. Mighty Win says, anyone know how to watch TNT's Dreamland? I'm not sure. I wouldn't have a clue, mate. I'm not sure. That far check was well worth the wait, lads. Absolutely, Gary, it was. From what I saw, the ball hit the arm of the PSG player before hitting the cells too, says Trolls. Yeah, I think there was a double whammy there. Just imagine we had a full strength team. I think we could have kept a clean sheet. I mean, look, we could have kept a clean sheet, but it was unfortunate. I mean, when you think we were missing about £160 million worth of talent, because we're missing Joe Willock, Joe Linton, Harvey Barnes,
Sven
Sven
Botman.
Botman. So when you think there's a lot of talent there still, I thought Nick Pope's kicking was absolutely atrocious towards the end. Them goal kicks kept going out. The only other thing I was thinking was, yes, it was atrocious, but was it a plan from Eddie Howe to say to him, just kick the ball out? It wastes time, it runs the clock down. So who knows? But again, if it wasn't, then I'm sorry, but Pope needs to sort his feet out because that kicking was awful last night. It really was. Which one
Can't
has
tell you
been
it wasn't
burgled? Not me, trolls. I think PSG players were cocky and never showed the tune respect, says Trevor. They didn't. Absolutely not, mate. Billy being harsh on Pope, I feel, did get stuck in two minds, but I reckon that's no matter what great ball finish. Love you, Billy. Just not my feelings. Yeah, Bias says Mbappe has a work rate of Paul Killer. I think Mbappe was catering for our fans yesterday. To be fair, Gordon had a really bad attitude when he came to us, so who knows? Yeah, he did, Jack. I mean, yes, he did. I thought Gordon had a terrific game last night. He was unfortunate to be booked because he shouldn't have been booked because that was never a foul. He got the ball first. You know, so I thought that was very unlucky for him to get a yellow card for that. But I'm glad he played basically the whole game till he got subbed off at the end. But that lad ran his socks off as well. And when Dan Burn was exposed, he got back to double up with Dan Burn to help out. So, that guy has been a revelation this season. He really has. And he's going to be a miss at West Ham on Sunday, without a doubt. He's going to be a huge miss. So, but the thing is, we'll have somebody there who can cover. And then we've got the international break coming up. So hopefully we haven't got too many players away. We only know Kieran Trippier is the only one in the England squad. No Callum Wilson. I can't believe Nketiah has been picked over Callum Wilson.
It's probably because
Nketiah is not that great of a player. He shouldn't even be in the England squad. He's rubbish.
I think it's
I
been
don't
picked
rate him.
because Wilson's been injured.
Yeah, but you can still pick Callum Wilson. He's not injured now.
Well, it's not.
And no Pope again.
Wasn't
So,
in the game yesterday, so I'm not worried about that. Gives him more time to get fit.
But then you're picking players like Maguire, Phillips, who don't play. Henderson keeps getting picked. I mean, not being funny. What's the matter with Sean Longstaff? Why is he not getting that team? Why is Elliot Anderson on that team? Maybe Elliot Anderson hasn't made a decision yet. Dan Burn should be in that team.
It's not
Ahead of
played
Maguire.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Maguire is getting in the squad because he's not. He's about seventh choice centre back for Manchester United. I think they're better centre halves than Maguire. They've got the likes of Gallagher and Henderson and Phillips in midfield. For Longstaff, Anthony Gordon should be in there. He'll probably be in the under-21s. But I think he's probably been our best player so far this season. He's been superb. Yeah, but the way I look at it is if they're not in the England squad, they get a bit of time to rest, recuperate any minutes. So
absolutely.
And they hopefully won't get injured training where they could get injured playing. So, yeah.
Still 1-0 Liverpool at the moment. After 78 minutes. I'm happy Gordon wasn't picked for England because he can finally get some well-earned rest as trolls. Yeah, absolutely. I'll try and send you again. Okay, Jack and Lewis. Hi, Ian. Thank you. He's been a member for 3 months. Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. Evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, mate. Lewis Enrique was very respectful, especially at the Sir Bobby Robson statue. Yeah, he will be, because he was a player for Sir Bobby Robson, and he did say the last time he was at St James's Park, he played for Barcelona when we beat them 3-2, and it still haunts him to this day. You know, sorry?
He scored in that game, Enrique.
Yeah. He says it still haunts him, though.
Yeah, no,
Brian says, think they try. Sorry?
that's carry on. Carry on.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Brian says, think they try to copy across to keep ball tactics, but the lads are smart now. Didn't get a chance, absolutely, Brian. I mean, this isn't the group of death for us because we are the Reap Ancestrals. Okay, Lewis talking to somebody. Brian says, across it, I just realised I meant Jar to get it again across, and I caught this time. Yeah, no worries, mate. We'll see what you're saying by that. £5 from Ian. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. He says, fantastic result last night, Tony. Do you know what, Ian? It was absolutely brilliant, mate, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. And the problem is, we're going to have a lot of people out there going, yeah, but it was PSG weren't playing well, and you're going to have PSG not doing this, PSG not doing that. And it's like, just give us some credit for a change and just look, and you'll get people who didn't watch the game, and they'll just say, oh, well, PSG mustn't have turned up if they got beat 4-1. And it wasn't down to the fact they didn't turn up. It was just the fact is, we outsmarted them. We outthought them. We outpressed them. Simple as, at the end of the day.
And
They got what they deserved.
we outscored them, more importantly.
Mbappe is not happy then, it sure says Ronald. Absolutely, you could see that last night. Brian says others don't have the Geordie loyalty and will never understand it. Absolutely. Simon doesn't understand war supporters because we are not fickle and we love Eddie Howe and we are in the raid firmly with him. Absolutely, Ronald. That's the thing. They don't. Don't cry over glove stuff. I don't get that shade, to be honest. He asked for gloves. Bastard. John says, evening, Tony and Roly. Hope you're well. Sorry I'm late. No reminder from YouTube. No, that's fine, mate. No worries. No worries, mate. Bruno wears long sleeves, the pansy. Yeah, but there's a difference there. But it's the way Mbappe's going on making the point that it's cold,
And the way
Mbappe
Bruno's
looked
playing,
like a last Ninja Turtle.
so the way Bruno's playing at the moment, he could turn up in a Batman suit for all I care.
Nate says, are you able to show the heat maps for the PSG players? It's worth it for a laugh. If I can get them up, I'll have a look. I'll have a look, certainly. And yeah, I'll see if I can get a heat map up and I'll show you some of them. That'll be a laugh. Last night was the most exciting ever, unbelievable atmosphere I've ever witnessed, says John. Absolutely. And I've been in some, when I've been to St James's Park, I mean, I've been there when it's rocking like that, but last night was just totally different. Lewis says, Amazon Prime and Discovery Parts said it was live from the Sports Direct Arena. I'm not bloody sure. Yes, I saw that, Lewis, and I just thought, what the hell is going on here? It come out, saying that it was live from the Sports Direct Arena. I thought it's never been called that, since we got but I don't know why they've done that, and I hope they've apologised for it because they need to. Mad Max says, as Big Dan Burn let Mbappe out of his pocket. Petulant little tit. Do you know what? He was just doing nothing but whinge with Mbappe, wasn't he? And I mean, look, he got. The thing is, at least Trippier's son got Mbappe a shirt. I know Longstaff wanted it as well.
Have you seen the picture of that was posted of Trips and his son?
Yes.
Looking down at his son wearing the Mbappe's shirt. I thought it was class.
Gary says, next up, West Ham, Newcastle, Sunday, 2 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, it's not on live TV, but yeah, that's because West Ham played tonight and they beat Freiburg. Yeah, that's going to be a cracking game on Sunday, and I'll tell you what, I think West Ham will not enjoy facing us on Sunday after that result against PSG. But do you know what? I'm confident we'll go there and get a result. And that's what Jack's echoing as well. West Ham going to be a tricky game, but confident after last night. I mean, look, I was talking about my best mate at work today, and he's I say a best mate at work. I've known him before he even worked there. And he's a West Ham fan, and he said, you know what? He says, I'm not looking forward to this on Sunday, he says, because the way you turned PSG over, he says, no West Ham fan is looking forward to it. And the scene, it's the wrong time to play Newcastle. Lee says, Gordon, it might do well for him having a rest. Yeah, absolutely. Paquetá and Bowen hitting some form now. We need to come down from cloud 9 by Sunday. I'm sure they will, Julie. I'm sure Eddie Howe will have the players calm and say, look, I'm sure they're already focused for the next game. I reckon Wilson will start on Sunday if he's fit, because he always likes a goal against West Ham. Wilson's a bit injured, but Gordon should be over. And Nketiah, absolutely. I hate these international breaks, Tony, mate. Well, that's one of those things. But I'm thankful for the international break. I'm glad this one because I'm actually on holiday during the international break. So, I go away on the Sunday the 15th. So I'll be in Benidorm for the England-Italy match. So I'll be watching that match on one of the big screens in one of the bars there. And I will do a pre-match live for that as well with the team news as well. So I just have to readjust the fact that I'm going to be an hour ahead of everybody else. So I just have to make sure I hit the right time, what time I'm going to go on. I don't want to go on an hour later and everybody's like, well, hang on, the match is on now. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing that, and I'll do some videos as well, show some people the sights of Benidorm if you haven't been there. I haven't been there before, first time for me, but Mad Max says I'd get more minutes at City than Phillips, and I've got arthritis. Southgate needs shooting. I just don't get it. Great after last night. It makes you wonder that Maguire has on Southgate, doesn't it? Yeah. Says Julie, absolutely, Julie. Our boys deserve the England call-up, but won't happen. Not just us, but James Ward-Prowse should be in the squad as well. Yeah, he's done really well for West Ham. He should be, shouldn't he? I'll enjoy the break if our lads are there. Never miss war, lads. No, absolutely not. Tonali will be playing for Italy, no doubt. That young Zaire Emery looks a good prospect for PSG. Yes, he does. He looks really good. And I mean, he had a shot last night, and I thought he had a really good game. He didn't like it when he got booked for a foul, but at the end of the day, I thought I thought he had a good game. He looked really, really good when he came on. Alan says, glad hardly anyone picked for England. Don't care. Only 2 chance of an injury. Absolutely, Alan. Definitely. BS says Southgate is just Steve Bruce with a waistcoat. Ian says, say the French media gave us 5s and 6s in the player. Do you know what? That's the French media. They're going to do that, Ian. That's what they like. That was a joke. I love Bruno. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's fine, Brian. Don't worry about that, mate. Absolutely. Mad Max just think we upset the media now by being disrespectful. We just ripped PSG apart, says Lee. We picked them off. Jack says the reason why Mbappe was piss poor is because we made him look piss poor. Like we're going to make Man U look like that unless they play their current system. I mean, look, that team at Man United, I don't know what's going on there, but they are just on a downer. They lost to Palace, lost to Galatasaray, and I don't want them losing too much because I want Eric Ten Hag to be in charge when we play them at Old Trafford. Because I'm sure Eddie Howe will say to the players in the dressing room, he wants a quick game, let's give him a fucking quick game. And that's exactly what we're going to do to Man United on their own patch. Give them a quick game. And hopefully then we get rid of Ten Hag and get him sacked. Nate says, talk of stuff being shared on social media. What about Mika Richards joining the Geordie Boys chant? Loving it. So funny thinking of spending so much time with Shearer. Yeah. Do you know what? I think he's quite a character, Mika Richards, and I saw him on an interview from Paramount Plus with Eddie Howe, and Eddie was laughing at him as well, and basically the presenter says, It's all right, Mika. May as well take over and have it as your show because it's what's coming up next and that, you know. But even Jamie Carragher was very complimentary last night as well on Paramount
Yeah,
Plus. So
yeah. I mean, both Mika Richards and Carragher got Dan Burn to show him the Dan Burn dance. They all did it together. It's
yeah,
hilarious.
Mad Mag says last international break for a while. Yeah, it is till November because we have to play Malta in November because I'm going to that game, England Malta. Knight's been a member for 3 months. Thanks very much, Kong. Thank you, mate. Gary says I'll be watching the game on Sunday. Enjoy it, mate. It's not that Maguire has on him, it's what he has in him. We know Southgate has favourite players. Did you see Dubravka celebrating the share goal? You can see he cares for the club. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, he jumped off the bench with Karius, and, you know, it was great to see them jumping off the bench and doing that. Why not? Nice to see Eddie animated as well, because you see him get animated, but you don't see him that animated. But from the way Eddie was animated last night when we were scoring goals was absolutely fantastic. Hope we sell Dubs in January. Beatty's choice. There's no coming back for me, says Trolls.
I think that.
Watching clips back today, Mark Goldwynch, where his panties over shares goal and practically begged for Qatar money. Kong says, has anyone seen the latest videos from Alison, the Man U supporter, about us? She thinks she's in love with Eddie. Such good insight. Should get her on when we play them, Tony.
Yeah,
I'll have to have a look at that one.
I think I know the girl he's talking about. She's watched quite a few of the videos, and she's really complimentary, saying why is everyone sleeping on us and how good we are, which is always nice to hear from, especially a Man U support, someone that's actually objective about it rather than completely biased.
I can always try. If I can't, I know somebody else I can get on straight away. Well,
it'd be good to try and get her on. What I'll do after the show, Tony, is I'll find one of videos and WhatsApp it to you, the link, so you can have a look, see what you think.
His name is Tenag because he's 10 is a number of points he will finish on this season. Do you not like Dubs, Troll? Says Ian. No, he doesn't. Even Carragher joined in. Did you see how she was given reacting? Both Cara and Neville different away from Sky Sports. They are, aren't they? Ronald says Dubs was cheering his boyhood heroes last season and got a League Cup winning medal. Yeah. Mad Max says I was surprised to see Cara's relationship with Longstaff to do with Cara's son's injury. Jack says when Miggy scored, I never had a feeling like that in my whole life. It was incredible. It was just surreal, wasn't it, once we scored? Alan says, fucking hell, that's only a month till another international crap. I thought it was a long time. Sorry, can't stand that guy with a stupid laugh. Mighty Win says, before the match I did say I would rather have 3 points at West Ham than PSG, but after last night I was talking bollocks. Can you imagine now experiencing the joy, right? Absolutely. I mean, look, if we'd lost to PSG, people would have said, oh, well, that's no disgrace because PSG is a good team. But the fact we thumped them 4-1, and I'm not using that term lightly, thumped, because we did thump them 4-1. It would just be nice to get a bit more respect from the media and just to say, look, fair play, Newcastle done well, you know? So, but of course, they're going to have the downers and they're going to have the post-mortems on PSG. She's beautiful tune, a nice change. Tony and Roly says Tross. 10 is a number of hairs on his napper, says Andrew. Still 0-0 at Villa. Bosnian League there, up there with the Belgian League, says Bia. Dubravka's one of the reasons that we remain the Premier League Cup. Yeah, that's true. I'll need my glasses. I mean, did you see Shea Given's reaction? I think Shea Given said himself he would even save that shot from Sean Longstaff that Donnarumma let in. I noticed Jackie made it to fan reactions. I nearly jumped through My dad sealing when Mickey scored, says Andrew. Yeah. Sent you the link to one of the videos, Tony, on Twitter. G.S. Gong, thank you very much. I shall have a look after the show. Lawrence, evening Lawrence. I saw your interview on Pete's channel last night, and you know,
Villa just scored.
have you come back down to earth yet, Lawrence, or are you still way? Because I tell you what, it made going to work this morning a hell of a lot of a better day.
Villa have just scored.
They have.
Yeah. 4 minutes into stoppage time.
Yeah.
Magnafique.
Liverpool have just scored as well through Diogo Jota. That's on just on the 5th minute of injury time, which is 5 minutes of injury time as well. Ronald says, is Keegan wrong criticising too many ex-women players, saying I would have done this and that in the men's game? That's Keegan for you, but I don't know. I mean, look, the way it is nowadays is we've got a lot of the women now coming on as analysts. We've got Karen Carney, people like that. Look, Karen Carney, that's a game over at Liverpool, 2-0 they've won. Klopp's smiling. But I mean, look, Karen Carney, she's a legend for the women's game because she's one of the great players. You know, so you can kind of see why she's probably in there. The same as Farrah Williams, she's, you know, record England caps holder. So yeah, I can see what they're saying, but at the end of the day, you've got to be everything's got to be politically correct these days, shall we say. Jason from Keeping It Two, and hi lads and lasses. Hi Jason, how are you, mate? Did you think of last night's game? Good advertising for you through Jack. Well done, mate. Yeah, 1-0 Villa, 95th minute. Yeah, Klopp loves the late goal, doesn't he? Troll says, Dubs has sold his soul to the devil and come running back when we started to play well, so no thank you. Holly says, hi Tony and Roly, what a phenomenal performance and a result. So proud of our lads against PSG. Absolutely, Holly, what a great performance it was last night. Absolutely fantastic. As soon as the first goal got in, I was off the sofa like a shot, jumping around, screaming. Yeah. I should record some of my reactions, I think, really, shouldn't I, and put them out there because it's hilarious. Neil drew to a team from the Faroe Islands. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think Keegan's comments have to be taken. That's his opinion. He's entitled to it. I believe there's a fair few people who would agree with him. Yeah, that's the thing. It is, yeah. Aye, she's good. Alice says Paul Gardner. Talks a lot of sense. Why North Shore last night? Biggest game in last 30 to 40, a long time. 30 to 40 years. Why North Shore last night? I was contemplating doing a reaction show after the game, but then I thought I'll just keep it for tonight because I was too high and I was like, you know, I don't care what they are, male, female, or anything, as long as they're on the merit. That's someone, yeah, absolutely. I didn't realise goal in French is, but Keegan's spot on. Let the women's comments on women's football. The boys are proverbial. See Bobby Robson be looking down with the smell. Absolutely, Lewis. You know, like I said, Sir Bobby Robson. You know, as I said on Tuesday, I says, look, if Ipswich were winning, he's probably looking down over the moon that Ipswich were winning, and then he's probably looked down and saw our result and thought, that's great. You know, both teams have won. Because the last time we had a win in the Champions League was 20 years ago against Bayer Leverkusen. Jason says, all good, yeah, I must have watched the highlight about 12 million times just to make sure the result was really real. I'm still in shock. Absolutely, mate. Alan says, the women commentators seem to be getting the hang of it. It sounds fine. I didn't like men like Ian Wright getting in the last game there, and I concur with Kevin Baselli. Yeah, I mean, look, Ian Wright does some stuff for the women. Do you know what? I don't mind Ian Wright. I think Ian Wright's quite a great guy, to be fair. And he does a cracking game show, by the way, as well. You know, he's pretty. He's one of these. He's a character as Ian Wright, and I always remember the time. I think it was when the League Cup used to be on ITV. So this is going back some time. This is back in the 90s when Keegan was manager. And I remember we got beat off Arsenal. Ian Wright scored against us. I think he got 2 goals. And I remember Ian Wright coming to get, because he grabbed Ian Wright and like the neck and just like give him a shake and cuddle and that to see, well played. And then when Ian Wright came to get interviewed, he was doing this at the camera and the guy says, "What's up?" And he says, "Kevin Keegan's not off hurt my neck. It's very, very sore." He said, "I thought he was going to strangle me at one point." And I think it was just, it wasn't trying to strangle him. I think it was just the fact it was just one of those friendly grabs, but Keegan obviously held on a bit too long and gave Ian Wright a bit of a sore neck. I thought that was pretty class, to be fair. I'm not offended by the comments. No, absolutely not. Geordie boys are taking over. Ian says, "Must admit, I'm no fashion, prefer men during the men's game." Yeah, absolutely. Prefer Wrighty to that Man City clown, says Alan. Yeah, I don't mind Ian Wright at all. I think Ian Wright's brilliant. And when it's him and Shearer, they just bounce off each other, don't they? So,
But I do like Micah Richards. I think he's hilarious.
And even Jimmy and Genius was over the moon last night for us beating PSG as well. So, yeah. Roly, right. Let's have your take on last night's game then.
Before the show ends, I get a chance to have my say. I mean, what an atmosphere. Let's talk about the War Flags display. They've knocked it out the park again. Though the Leeses and that hello, hello, I was thinking, what's all that about? Until they pan back and then I can see the smaller banner saying, "We are the Geordie boys." So I thought that was class. And then the magpie holding the the ticket they have when they do the draw from the Champions League. I thought that was boss as well, and the whole place, the atmosphere was. So, I mean, that's the best display they've done yet. And that surpasses the one they did when we beat Arsenal 2-0 seasons back. It's just so good. And here in the Champions League, that's music at St James's Park. Oh, brilliant! And then we had the game. What was so good about it was we pressed at the right time in the right way. We didn't press all the time. We're becoming smarter with our press. And the first goal really came down to PSG not really understanding how we do our press and how to counter it. And I think the guy just panicked. He tried to chip it. And obviously Bruno headed it down to Isak, who had a snapshot. It's well saved by Donnarumma. And then obviously Miggy managed to get himself in the position so he could take it on his left foot. And the result of that was obviously going to be a goal. I thought we harried them. And as you said, possession doesn't mean squat if you don't do anything with it. You could have 99% possession, but if it's all in your half, you're not going to score any goals. And I forget the actual stats, but at the end of the game, they had something like, was it 77%, well, 73% possession. We actually had more shots and more shots on target than they did, and they had the ball more. So it's what you do with it is the more important thing. I think the game could possibly be summed up in the first couple of minutes where Anthony Gordon pressed and he made the challenge to put the ball out for a throw in the first minute or so. And he was going raging the crowd up, and the crowd got louder, and then the team played better. And it was just so good. And obviously had the second goal where you had the ball in, and the Lascelles goes up. Bruno has a shot, then it comes back and he crosses it for Dan Burn to head in. I think, that's gone in. And then there's the offside flag goes up, and I'm looking at it thinking, he's onside there. It's clear. I think, well, they had that semi-automatic offside decision. So they must have been looking at the handball to decide whether it was handball and what phase it was in to see whether it would allow the goal. It took forever, but they got the result right. Now, obviously, that gave us that nice cushion going into half-time. But by that time, there's only going to be one winner in the game. And then, obviously, Sean Longstaff's goal to start the second half really made it safe. Lovely ball by Trippier. And he just hit it hard and low. Donnarumma got a hand to it. But I'm not sure. I think it seemed to hit the back of his hand. So I think he's misjudged it. And it's gone in. So I don't care what he's done, but it's gone in. And we're on cloud 9. It's great. Then they got their one goal back. And you're thinking, they're going to have a bit of a rally, but we snuffed that out with Shah's superb finish. He slipped. He lost his footing as he actually struck it. So I think that might have helped him to get a bit of a curl on the shot. It was a beautiful shot, and obviously the place was in raptures. I thought for all the possession PSG had, they did nothing with it. Mbappe, I thought he had a nice time snug in either Lascelles or Trippier's pocket, depending on who was marking him. He never got a sniff. I saw somewhere that Mbappe's expected goals for that game was 0.02%, because he did have a shot. We just kept him quiet. I thought Dembele was their most dangerous player, but Dan Burn handled him pretty much all game. And I think people have been sleeping on Dan Burn. They think, because he's big, he's not the archetypal left back because he's so tall and he looks so awkward. But he's a bloody good defender. And he grows into the game. The longer the game goes, the better he gets. If they're going to get at Doom, it's going to be in the beginning of the first half, because he adjusts well. And obviously with this game, you saw that he was never dealing with Dembele on his own. There's always someone coming back, whether it's Anthony Gordon or Tonali. It'd always be a 2-on-1 against him, so that he can sort of position himself to stop him going outside. And if he cuts in, there's someone to help out there. I thought good performances all over the field. I think that midfield of Tonali, Bruno and Longstaff worked really well. I thought Tonali was excellent yesterday, both going forward and defensively. Bruno was superb. I mean, no one had a bad game. Pope's kicking, he needs to work on that. I thought, everyone, you were saying, you'd bring in Dan Burn into centre half and play target at left back. I said, it'll be the same back four as the last game, because I didn't see any changing it, and he didn't. And he's been justified in that, because Lascelles has had one of the best games he's had since he signed for the club. He was superb. Again, Dan Burn obviously played well, got his goal. Shah got his goal. I thought Trippier was sound. Miggy ran his heart out in a brilliant finish. I thought Isak played well. He caused them all sorts of problems. He's unlucky. It's a good save from his snapshot. Maybe could have done better, but it came to him quickly and to get the shot away. I thought Anthony Gordon, again, what a motor that guy's got. Not just going forward, coming back, and the way he commits defenders, gets fouls. They just couldn't. I'm not sure if it's just they couldn't cope with us or they'd really underestimated us. They've obviously not seen our recent matches because it's almost like they thought they could rock up and they'd come away with the win. Maybe they were looking at the game against Milan and seeing how we didn't have much of the ball and how Milan peppered our goal. But that was away, not at St James's Park. We essentially ripped through them. And I said, the way I look at it is the group of death, you're having a laugh. And we've got Dortmund rocking up in a fortnight. And then we go to Dortmund, and Dortmund have struggled so far. Because if we turn up like we did at St James's Park, we're almost through to the last 16. If we then go back to Dortmund and beat them there, we're pretty much there. I don't just think that we'll qualify from this group. I think we've got a really good chance of winning it. I thought it was quite interesting when Luis Enrique said that when they're doing the draw for pot 4, we were the ones that they didn't want. I'm sure that's been really rammed home to them, the way that we took them apart. There's also in the Italian press ruining, saying that AC might rue not taking advantage of their chances when they played us at the San Siro, which they did have the chances, but a combination of good defending and good goalkeeping got us a point there. They've still got to come to St James's, and no one's going to look forward to coming to that. My only regret about our form now is that we've already played Liverpool at St James's Park. But they got us before we hit form. They always seem to play us when we're off form. So hopefully, come the end of December, we're still on this strong patch, and we can beat them at Anfield. But it seems to be becoming a pattern that we start the season slowly, but come October, we hit a purple patch. And we know Miggy likes October. He normally has a goal of the month competition against himself there. So I'm expecting more goals from Miggy for the rest of this month. So yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic night, fantastic result. I thought we would win, but not like that. That was impressive. I mean, even the commentators saying, "Well, right, Mbappe's been very quiet, but he can spark a team." And he wasn't given the chance. And it's just tactically was superb, outplayed them, and thoroughly deserved the result and the win. So I'm just stoked.
There he is, unhappy Mbappe. Obviously, his brother was probably the more happier Mbappe, because obviously, the under-19s beat us 1-0 in injury time. And his brother plays for the under-19s. Don't know how good his brother is, but yeah. Mbappe is just one of those players. He's an enigma, He's good when he plays, and I mean, look, he was good in that World Cup in the final against Argentina. But if you keep him quiet, he gets frustrated, and then you see him go missing.
I think he's one of these players that when he's in his happy place, in himself, he'll destroy him single-handedly. But if he's got, I mean, he doesn't look happy. I mean, obviously, he had that bust up about his contract and going to Real Madrid and being forced to stay. It doesn't look like everything's great. And when he's not concentrating on his football, performance it's drop off. It doesn't look happy. We didn't look happy in the rain, getting thrashed. It's more a not. I wouldn't say a confidence pack. 'Cause I think he's got all the confidence in the world because he's got the ability. I think it's more to do with his personal happiness.
Yeah.
And when happy, he can take the world on his own.
Mm. They saying Chris Camaro's funny on Sky. He was. I mean, look, we all remember that famous game with Portsmouth and Blackburn, and and Jeff Stalin says sources are telling us there's only 10 players, and he says, "Oh, you're right. I saw the player going off, but I thought they were bringing the substitute on."
Oh, that is just classic.
That's comedy gold.
Red card. Has there? Thanked it. They're only 10 men. Oh, it's brilliant.
Michael Oliver was at the game last night. I'm not surprised because he tries to get the games. I've seen him many a time. I think it's the clock he's in, the pub, and he's in there and he gets his photos taken with people in the clock. So, you know, the guy doesn't just go to the posh bars, he doesn't mind slumming it anywhere. Mad Max says Stelling will always be a big miss to those who were lucky enough to watch him Hartlepool's finest. Absolutely. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Stelling is going to be a huge miss. I mean, look, it's great to see Simon Thomas back. I mean, look, Simon Thomas lost his wife to cancer, and everybody thought that was his career finished. They didn't think he was going to make a comeback. And I think if anybody was to take over from Jeff Stelling, I think Simon Thomas was the perfect guy. And you know what? Such a brave man to come back, you know, losing his wife at such a young age to that horrible disease, you know, and but yeah, Stelling is always going to be missed, isn't he? But he had to retire one day. Mighty Windsor, I thought Pope should have claimed the ball when they scored. Yeah, I thought that because I thought, couldn't you come out a little bit quicker? But, it was a clever goal.
It's a good ball. I think he doesn't get to it whether he comes or not. He started to come and realised he wasn't going to get there. And it was a good, well-directed header. And if he'd stayed back, he wouldn't have got it anyway. So it's sort of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't.
Matt says Mbappe is standing watching Longstaff's goal. Mighty Win says, I've been sticking up for Big Dan Burn for months. Far too much criticism. Always said I love Big Dan. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know what? Dan Byrne's done really great for us. He has really done well. And I thought he had a great game last night. I really did thought he had a good game. And there was times last season when he didn't look so good and people, we were saying, oh, right, okay, we'll have to change it, put somebody else in. But then he sticks with Dan Burn, and what's he do? He goes out and scores a goal the next game and has a blinder. So
beginning of the season, people are saying, "Oh, we need to give him a rest," and I'm thinking, why? The games we've lost this season, apart from the Brighton game, we've actually played really well.
Yeah,
Brighton was a one-off. Liverpool, it was just one of those things that happens. We could play that game 1,000 times, and the way that they got that equaliser would only happen once. And it just happened to happen this time. So it's what happens. And talking about Liverpool, we heard what Turkey Teeth has been saying.
No.
He's saying that he wants the game replayed.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, what an arse. Because when you're thinking, well, they should have replayed Bournemouth's game where they had that goal disallowed when it was a perfect because they didn't have the goal line technology on, and that got them relegated. Or our game last season against Crystal, I think who it was. Is it? They're talking to some guy on Sky Sports. I forget, ex-player. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's going through all these games that did we replay them? No, God. I mean, the thing, one of the things that annoyed me about the whole VAR situation is that if it had been Luton or Bournemouth or us or West Ham that has spoken about it on the day and that's it, because it's Liverpool, they're still talking about it today and it happened on Sunday. I mean, give us a break. I mean, and then they're also saying that the VAR guy isn't going to be allowed to officiate Liverpool games for the rest of the season. They're trying to pick their own officials now. All right, maybe for a month, but no, it's not for the whole bloody season. Uh, it's just the amount of favoritism they get from is they get. Oh, it's just ridiculous. They get one bad VAR decision against them, and all the media think that the world has come to an end, saying that they should have. Last night I was watching it, and one of the newspaper people was saying that they said, they should. People were saying that they should have stopped the game and given Liverpool the goal. And he says, well, if they did that, Spurs could have asked for a replay because they're not applying the rules properly. It's just ridiculous. It's a bad
Well,
decision.
Keith Hackett, the ex-referee, said they could have stopped that game and they could have given the goal to Liverpool. He says there's ways of doing it.
Maybe they shouldn't. I mean, it's the rules of the game. You can't change
He says
the
they
rules.
could have given a bounce ball to Luis Diaz and say just put that in the back of the net.
They could have done, but they didn't.
Remember,
And
I think it was
they made at the end of the day, the referee's decision's final, even if it's wrong.
I think it was years ago. I think it was also Sheffield United.
Yeah. That's
Remember,
years.
I think
I'm
Arsenal
sorry.
from a throw-in or something. They took a shot and scored.
Oh,
And
that was because the ball was played out because someone was injured.
yes,
And then
exactly.
they put the throw in and scored. And
Wasn't
then
sportsmanship, was it?
but it wasn't like a wrong decision. But I say with decisions, I say they're going to get them wrong. They realise they got it wrong too late, so they've already restarted. So tough shit. Cry me a river.
Um,
Yeah, I'm glad that. I mean, it's good that it's been highlighted, but I mean that thing. We should play the game. Should just be laugh. People should just laugh at him for that.
yeah,
It's just
Turkey Teeth's on TV now and getting interviewed.
that's one to remember. I'll remember not to watch that.
Lawrence says we'll have to. He says he will look to go into one of the two home games for the under-19s. I know Dortmund one's at Gateshead, and the AC Milan one will be played at Whitley Park.
They were at Gateshead yesterday.
Yeah, they were lucky to lose that. Apparently, I don't know. I didn't see the game, but apparently they were really, really unlucky.
I
Mad
saw.
Max says, "What's with the three keepers?" By the way, was it just down to how stretched we are? No, because what it is in the Champions League, it's a bit like England international games in the World Cup and things like that. You have three keepers on your bench. You have two keepers on the bench. I think it's down to the fact that obviously if one keeper come off injured and then say the other keeper went on and got sent off, you've got another keeper to come on. But I think it's just more of a squad game, and that's why you got two keepers on. I think it's a Champions League rule that you've got to have two keepers on your bench. Russ Million, glory, glory, Man United, glory, glory, Man United. Gather he's a Man United fan. You're not be very happy with Man United at the minute. The clock's slumming it out, Johnny Day. I'm joking, matey Win. I'm joking. I've been the clock many a times. It's a great pub. It's a great pub. Honestly, it is that. I was joking, by the way. He says, look what's happened with us last season. Isak goal against Liverpool. Yeah, absolutely, Lee. Absolutely. Like pubs in Newcastle, I've been the Garter many a times. Great pub, the Garter, next to the Granger Market. No, the clock's fine, absolutely fine, mate. I've been there many a time. It's a great pub. I wasn't being nasty. I was just having a bit of a joke. You know. Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that, says Russ. Might one day.
Don't count on that. I mean, you thought Champions League 18 months ago.
Alan says Lascelles' tackle on Dembele was worth a goal. Great credit from him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing is, do you know what? Do you know what it was? Right, last night with that game last night as well. Every tackle we made, every time the ball went out, the players were celebrating like a goal. The fans were celebrating like a goal. It happened after 10 seconds of the game when Anthony Gordon went in, and he all of a sudden got the crowd up as well, you know, and it was like you could see this was going to happen, and it's, yeah, why not? Why not? I, Roly, many in my age were glory hunters, were fans of Liverpool, maybe Turkey Teeth has been made to known. You could get officials with wankers, yeah, absolutely. Scouse Pool deserve nothing. Favourable treatment will cause a backlash in the Prem. They're pathetic.
Yeah.
Russ says Highlander, Isak. Isak all day, mate.
All day.
Because
twice Sundays.
It's not the fact that Isak's not just a goal scorer, but you can also, he's got a dribbling ability. And if you look at Isak, he reminds you of Thierry Henry. Mad Max says, imagine losing at home and a couple of days later trying to take the piss out of the underdog. That's just top the group and thrash one of the best clubs in Europe. Absolutely. The clock and got Rari. Absolutely. 12th player, our fans last night. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Definitely the 12th man last night. If I was to pick a man of the match, well, my God, honestly, it's hard to pick a man of the match because every one of them played out of their skin. But personally, if I was to pick a man of the match last night, for his big heart, the way he played, I thought he had a fantastic game. And it's only one man. One man for me from who gets man of the match. I know Almiron got man of the player of the match awarded to him by UEFA. But my man of the match last night is this man here, Dan Burn. Absolutely man of the match. I thought he had played absolutely brilliant last night, and to get that goal topped it off, I thought was a stir. You know, like I say, they all played well, but if I was to give somebody man of the match, it has to be Dan Burn. I'm sorry, I thought he was absolutely outstanding last night. You know, yes, you could get Almiron, you could get Cher for his goal, because I thought Cher was great. He didn't give that ball up at the end. You know, when he played the 1-2 with Murphy, when he got in for the tackle and got the ball back from Murphy and then took the shot on and scored. But for me, it's Dan Burn all day, in my opinion. And
oh dear, that's
and if you want the sequel to the Incredible Hulk, you can have the Incredible Sulk, because there he is. Yes, it is Kylian Mbappe. He is the Incredible Sulk. And also, Kylian Mbappe is the cock of the week. Absolutely. So there you go, Kylian. I've given you the best award you can have all week, the cock of the week. And it just goes with you being French as well, doesn't it, mate? Sorry about that. But yeah, there we go.
Myself, but hey, Kylian's just speaking to it. My man of the match. The problem I've got with choosing a man of the match is that every time I think about it, I choose somebody else. There's so many good performances. I know you're giving it to Big Dan Burn, who had a terrific game. I thought Gordon was superb. I thought Bruno's had one of his best matches. I thought Tonali was outstanding. Obviously, Miggy with his goal and his work rate. Trippier was good. Shaw with his goal. But I'm going to give it to our club captain, Jamal Lascelles, because everybody said that, Lascelles against Mbappe is going to make him look like a muck. And when he emptied his pockets after the game, he found Mbappe in there. I thought Lascelles was superb, and especially with the low expectations of him against Mbappe and that PSG forward line and the way he led. I'm giving it to Lascelles.
Yeah,
No disrespect. I mean, everyone. I mean, in a way, it's a shame you can't have a joint man of the match because you could give it to like 3/4 of the team. But I think more because everyone was putting themselves down, saying, "Oh, he's not Champions League, he's Championship level." I mean, this is over the last season. In the summer, everyone said, "Oh, I'll get rid of him. He's not good enough." It just proved he is. It's more
uh,
for all the doubters. And the way he's performed in the games that he's played this season. And they've been against top. The games he's played, the last 5 games he's played against us, uh, like Tranmere in the Carabao Cup last season. Then you look at Liverpool and Man City last season, and he played against Man City and PSG,
yeah,
and he's not put a foot wrong. And this is a guy that everyone says is only championship class. Right, it's not the future because he's getting old, but he's proving that he's a valuable player to have as a backup. And I've said for the longest time that I don't mind having him as a backup coming in to play the odd game here and there. Wouldn't necessarily want to have him as my number one because we've got better centre halves. But to
yeah.
come in, he can come in and do a job. And he's actually improved his play. His passing's better. And his positioning is, I mean, that challenge he had in the second half. I think was it Mbappe was in Dembele's coming through and that slide challenge,
Dembele.
yeah, and won the ball cleanly. That was just superb. So yeah, for those reasons, I'm going to give it to Jamal Lascelles.
John says fabulous Fab May man of the match. Ronald says Longstaff. Russ says, what about Bruno or Bruno G? I'm sorry, Bruno G every time, mate. Lee says 10 out of 10 for all the players. Played their hearts out, absolutely. Burn played his heart out. There's only one Bruno, and one's a scruffy big tooth beaver, says Andrew. Heat maps, Tony, please. Bias says, my cock of the week is Klopp.
Yeah, I agree with
Talking
you
about
there.
heat map, okay, right, Nate. I'll have to get them up individually, mate. Right, let's have a look. Right, let's show you Mbappe's heat map from last night, shall we? And this shows you how much he tracks back as well. There we go. Right, look at that heat map there. How many times is he back? How many times is he in his box? None. Doesn't get back to help. Lazy player. Yes, he's got a bit of a red mark on the left-hand side, but other than that, not a lot there. Not a lot on that heat map. His expected XG was 0.02. He had 52 touches of the ball. He made 36 out of 38 accurate passes. 3 key passes. 4 crosses, 2 were accurate. Long balls were both accurate. He had 1 shot off target, which is the one that went off Lascelles. He won 3 ground duels and was successful with 2. And he didn't win any aerial duels. So that was Mbappe last night. Let's look. Should we go on to a different player? Let's look at Marquinhos, shall we? And see what. Uh, let's have a look at his stats from last night then. Oh, hang on. There we go. Marquinhos, there we are. To be honest with you, I wasn't that impressed with him at all. There we are. That's Marquinhos' heat map. It's not great reading, that is it? Not at all. Let's look at Let's look at Goncalo Ramos, because that is a player that I wanted at Newcastle. I highly rate this guy, I really do. So there we are. And there's his heat map. They're not very good, these heat maps, are they, by these players?
The young lad that they had in the midfield, I forget his name, it's a double-barreled name. He's the one that seemed to have one of the better players they had. I forget his name.
Oh, I think I know who you mean, yeah. That young kid.
Yeah. I'll find out.
Oh, I mentioned his name earlier on as well.
I'm just going to find it. It was Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery.
Zaire. Warren Zaire Emery. 17 years of age. Frightening to think what he could be. That's his heat map.
So
slightly better than Mbappe.
Better than the other ones you put up.
62 out of 67 passes, 93% accuracy. 3 key passes. Long balls, 2 of them were both accurate. Created 1 big chance. Had 1 shot off target. He lost possession 7 times. 2 fouls. So yeah. He looked okay, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But not many there from them. Russ, get a few more comments and you make me runner up. Longstaff man the match says Kong, yeah. For cock of the week. Niall says, big up lads, what a win against PSG. Nobody saw that coming. I hope you make the last 16. Cheers, Niall. Do you know what? There's a good chance we can do it, mate. Absolutely. Let's see what we can do. Bias says, people are comparing the Dan Burn goal to the Honey Monsters goal. Sugar Puffs. You'll not Mbappe. Oh, do you know what? That is...
it's a classic advert.
That is comedy goal. Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, that was absolutely. Yeah, that was brilliant. That one, the Honey Monster. We all remember that, don't we?
Those of a certain age. One of the things
those
about
of a certain age, yeah.
That Dan Burn goals, you can see when the ball came in, the determination to make sure he got there for it. And so, though it was over the line, the keeper did pretty well to actually pull it out from behind the line because it's hit with such power.
Yeah,
it's a really good header. It's just he wanted that more than the defender.
Right, okay. For everybody who wants to see the Honey Monster, do you want to see the Honey Monster? Because I can share the screen and we'll put them on there, and you can have a good laugh at this. This is the old Wembley, by the way, as well. So
the Twin Towers.
Be prepared. Bloody great stadium, the old Wembley.
Well, the game was heading for extra time. I just had to get the big fella off the bench.
Could this be their last chance now? In it comes! Monsters of the far post! He scored! The Honey Monster scored in the last minute! He's in the money! It's the Honey! Great goal, Honey Monster! That's football, Kev. Sugar Puffs are delicious like...
There we are. That's brilliant, isn't it? And that's what people are saying. There's big Dan Burn. But yeah, brilliant, that brilliant, isn't it? See, the things we show you on this channel is just, yeah. You should have a trophy for Team of the Month. Says Lee. I honestly believe he's the most underrated player in the Prem. Yeah, absolutely. He's a travesty why he's not in the England squad. We'll take him for Wales. The Cells was good. He's raised his game. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Giorgio, bravo, Newcastle. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Julio. Or Julio, sorry. Alan says, Russ has an impressive season and a cup, but shit to start. Not one. The Man U, Old Trafford now. It's not a place anybody fears. Crystal Palace proved that. You know,
I mean, they've been awful this season, Man United. And long may it continue.
Ronald says, who the F are Man United? Say Emery. I think you've still got Emery. Yeah, I did have. Yeah, I had to realise it wasn't loading up the other ones. Alan says it's not Eric's fault. It's the Glazers. Yeah. Well, without being racist, what the Americans have came over here and done. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, the Mackems boycotted Sugar Puffs after this advert, says Joe. Lawrence probably did, yeah. It's too soon. Jesse Marsh, Tony Adams, Todd Bowley, Weston McKennie. Can't think of any other that's done well. Class Tony, remember that, says Lee. Absolutely. Glazer staying put there making much money. Yeah, Ashley was happy that he didn't do that. Thankful. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. I mean, look, the Glazers aren't in a rush to sell. And apparently now that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is now wanting just to buy a minority stake. So that must mean the Glazers definitely aren't selling and they're open to having shareholders on board. So, you know, it just makes it all for great reading. But yeah, look, last night was a fantastic win against PSG, and by God, it's what we needed. But anyway, if you've enjoyed tonight's show, please do smash that like. Don't forget to smash the like if you haven't done so already. Just takes a couple of seconds to click that thumbs up. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community where you have, and also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So yes, Eddie Howe, outclassed, outthought, and outplayed Luis Enrique last night and his merry men. They may have had the lion's share of possession, but at the end of the day, we scored the 4 goals that matter. And I don't care what Luis Enrique says. The scoreline did not flatter us because we bloody well deserved that scoreline because your team were too arrogant and you got what you deserved, a good old fucking spanking. Roly, would you like to let people know where they can find you as well, please?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, or as it's now called X, at Pole67.
Yeah. Everybody knows that you follow me on X at Tony2031. Same on Twitch as well. On Threads, Facebook, and Instagram, it's all Black and White TV. So do check out there as well. Great show tonight, Tony and Roly. Spot on. Cheers, Lee. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Ian says, great show, guys. Cheers, Ian. Thank you very much. Sorry for the language at the end, but I just, I was really riled when he said that last night. I just thought, how dare you? How dare you come out and say that? We deserved that. We deserved that. Good night, lads. Great show as always. Cheers, John. Thank you very much. What we got coming up? Days of tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow we'll probably be having a preview for the West Ham game. Because on Saturday, I am going on a West Ham channel to do a preview with a guy called Bill West, who is an absolute great guy. So I'll be on with him. And then Sunday we'll have the pre-match as well, where we'll bring you the team lineups of both sides. So yeah, lots to look forward to on the channel. The Glazer brothers are arguing, and it's hilarious. Yeah, it is absolutely. Mad Max says, "Thanks for another great show, Tony and Roly. Thank you again. No problem, mate. You're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely fantastic. It's great to have everybody on. And I know it was a late show tonight, but I just thought I'm going to do it at 9 o'clock. And not only that, it was because of that channels will be on as well. So I try not to clash with everybody else, and so just make sure I like Toon Review and Pete. I'm not clashing with any of them because I don't want to diverse viewers from them to come over here. And so if I can try and not clash, then I'd do my best to do that. But sometimes it cannot be helped, and you do have to clash with other channels. But you do try your best not to. And that's what and that's what I'm trying to not do, clash with other people. Good night, how are you, the lads? Absolutely, Ronald. Good night, mate, and see you on the next show. But anyways, I say, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Till the next show, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And it is because we hammered PSG. We didn't just hammer them, we thumped them. So it's bye-bye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
How are you, the lads?